All right, listen, man. The world's rigged against men. You've heard of MGTOW, right? Men going their own way. They've figured it out. Why put up with all this pressure and expectations from women in society? They're just stepping away and doing their own thing. I get it. Why play a game that's stacked against you? Men going their own way? Are you serious? That's not about going your own way. It's about blaming women for everything and checking out of relationships entirely. That's not healthy. It's just running away from the problem. No, it's about freedom. It's about men saying, I don't need to follow society's rules. I'll live life on my own terms. Women don't have the right to control men's lives, and honestly, we're better off without all the emotional baggage they bring. Dude, that's not freedom. That's bitterness. Sure, there are challenges in relationships, but you can't just avoid them and think you're solving anything. The men going their own way mindset doesn't lead to growth. It just traps you in this cycle of anger and isolation.
Hey, it sounds like we've got some strong feelings about men going their own way. Jordan, you see it as a way for men to reclaim their independence and stop playing by society's rules. And Chris, you're seeing it as a response rooted in avoidance and bitterness. Can we step back for a second and check the facts together?
What facts? The twisted facts? The facts are that society is harder on men than women. Men going their own way is just a way for guys to finally take control of their own lives. No more getting used, no more emotional manipulation, just freedom. But what kind of freedom is it when you're cutting yourself off from connection and relationships? That's not freedom, it's isolation. And let's be real, this movement is based on the idea that all women are out to get men, which isn't true. That's just black and white thinking.
Chris brings up a good point about black and white thinking. Jordan, when you say things like society is harder on men than women, or women bring emotional manipulation, that's painting with a really broad brush. What would happen if we tried to think dialectically about this? Could it be true that men face challenges in society and that women do too, in different ways? Can we hold both truths at the same time?
I mean, sure, but men get no sympathy. We're expected to just keep it all together while everyone else gets to talk about their struggles. That's why men going their own way makes sense. It's about saying, I'm done with this system. But how is checking out of the system solving anything? It's not actually addressing the pain or the problems men face, it's just pretending they don't exist by avoiding relationships altogether. And it's not like women don't face their own challenges. The men going their own way mindset just ignores that and blames women for everything.
It sounds like there's a lot of frustration with the way men's struggles are often overlooked, which is totally valid, Jordan. What if we looked at this dialectically again? Could it be that men face real societal pressure while also benefiting from certain privileges? What if the solution isn't about cutting off from relationships? What if it's about finding a healthier way to engage with them?
But relationships are a trap. Men always end up losing, whether it's financially, emotionally, whatever. Men going their own way, guys, are just saying, I'm not playing that game anymore. But that's not true for every relationship. Yeah, some relationships are tough, but that's where growth happens. It's not about avoiding the risk of being hurt. It's about learning how to build something real and healthy. Men going their own way is basically saying men can't grow or change, so they should just run away.
It sounds like there's some all or nothing thinking going on here. Jordan, you're saying relationships are a trap where men always lose. That doesn't hold true for everyone, though. Could there be room for nuance? Maybe some relationships are harmful, while others can be fulfilling and supportive. What do you think would change if we considered that?
I don't know. I just feel like guys are constantly expected to be everything for everyone, and we get nothing in return. That's what men going their own way is pushing back against.
It sounds like there's a lot of emotional reasoning happening, where it feels like all men are expected to be everything for everyone, and that leads to a sense of unfairness and frustration. That's real, and it's understandable to feel that way. What if stepping back from relationships isn't the only solution? What if there's a middle path where men can reclaim their power and also build connections that are supportive and healthy?
Exactly. It's not about quitting the game. It's about finding new rules, building better, healthier relationships, instead of running away. What's so wrong with that? I get what you're saying, but men going their own way still makes sense for guys who are tired of all the BS. Not everyone wants to deal with the pressure of relationships and the expectations society throws at us.
It's completely valid to feel overwhelmed by the expectations placed on men. That pressure is real. What if we reframe this? Instead of seeing relationships as traps, could we start to look at them as opportunities to practice self-respect, boundaries, and mutual care? Dialectically, it doesn't have to be either relationships control you or you avoid them completely. What about relationships where both people grow together?
Maybe. I don't know. It's just hard to believe that's possible when all you see are examples of guys getting burned. It's possible, man, if you're willing to change the way you think about it. Not all relationships are going to end in disaster, and not all women are out to manipulate men. The world's more complex than that.
Exactly. It's about moving away from that black and white thinking and seeing the nuance. Maybe the answer isn't to go your own way entirely. Maybe it's to find a new way of being in relationships, one that doesn't feel like a trap, but like a partnership. What would that look like for you, Jordan?
I don't know. Maybe I'll think about it. It's just hard to see past all the frustration sometimes.
That's super understandable. Frustration can make it hard to see possibilities. The fact that you're willing to think about it is already a huge step. Just keep that curiosity going. You don't have to figure it all out today.